Hi, I'm Stephanie Laska. I lost 140 pounds and created Dirty Lazy Keto. Thanks for joining me here on the YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe and enjoy the show.
Well, how much weight can a person expect to lose on a keto diet? Today's guest is going to help us answer this question. That's right, we have a guest today. So before we get started and I introduce you to our very special person, I'm going to spin the wheel because folks that comment and ask her questions and contribute during our video are going to be eligible to win a free prize. So let me spin real quick. Here we go. Because everybody loves prizes. They get all excited and then they stay tuned, right? And they stay really focused. All right. So today's fun prize for our participants, it'll be a person at random from the comments is going to win a Dirty Lazy Keto red lunch pail for free, and I'll mail it right to their house. You're welcome. I know, right? Can I get a yay? Anyone? Thumbs up for that? Do we like prizes? All right. Enough of those shenanigans. I want to welcome our very special friend to the show today. This is Yasmine Morris. So welcome to the show, Yasmine.
Thank you.
Thanks for that big long intro, right? You're like, Stephanie, can you just stop talking already? So Yasmine might be a little shy today, folks. This might be her first time on the Dirty Lazy Keto podcast. So why doesn't everybody show support by giving her a big thumbs up just for being here today? Because it's scary to be on camera. I have a little thumbs up thing. I'm looking for it. Here it is. Everybody give her a thumbs up so that she can feel more brave. And I'm going to ask you just a real simple question, Yasmine. Tell us where you're at on your Dirty Lazy Keto journey.
Let me tell you, I've got my life back, basically. I've gone, I know this might sound mundane to some, but I've gone from doing absolutely no housework and relying on my partner and my daughter to help me to doing it on my own. And I really got into this in March after my operation, and it's amazing, absolutely amazing. Even no daytime naps, sorry. And I actually have fibromyalgia. My pain has gone down from at least 80 to about 10% in that short time.
Wow.
I haven't been able to go bushwalking for years, or you guys call it hiking. I'm actually looking forward to getting a pair of shoes and going on a bushwalk.
I want to go on a bushwalk with you. You sound so cute. People are like, where is this Yasmine from? You have to tell us before you go any further.
I'm from New South Wales, Australia.
Well, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. From all the way across the world. I'm in the San Francisco area, and you are all the way in beautiful Australia. And here we are having a conversation about Dirty Lazy Keto. Now, You mentioned that it's only been a few months. Like, how many months exactly has it been since you started?
Well, I started it originally in about February, but then my operation come through a lot quicker. So I started basically a week after my operation. So the second week in March, I started.
Okay. And then what is today for people that listen in the future?
So, about the second week of March, I really got back into it.
Perfect. And so that was March, and now we're in mid-June. So we're talking like a pretty short amount of time, right?
Yes. I've actually, in that short amount of time, I've actually gone from an Australian size 26 to a 24 in that time.
Good for you. Congratulations. I feel like I should give you a round of applause. And what are Australian sizes like? How are those different from, let's say, US sizes?
They are a lot more tighter and a lot more smaller. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you've lost maybe how much weight would you guess?
Well, I don't have scales, but my partner does the cuddle test.
I want to hear about this because this is why it's a fun question, right? So many people are focused on this weight loss number, and I'm hearing that you have such a different experience with your weight loss. It's not a number on the scale. It's something very different. So tell us more about that.
Well, ever since I got back into it, about the second week of March, third week of March, my partner started. And now when he used to cuddle me, he could only get his hands like that. So every week, what he started doing is at the end of the week, he comes over and he gives me a cuddle and he measures how much I've lost by how much he can close his fingers. And he can actually close his fingers around me now.
I love that. That's so cool. That is so rewarding, not just for you, but for your partner as well.
Yeah.
It's such a different thing to focus on, isn't it? And, you know, you mentioned the change in your size and at the Australian sizes and clothes, but the way your face lights up when you talk about losing weight and the way your partner can wrap his arms around you, it's just, your whole being changes. You smile like glowing.
Yeah, let me tell you, I've tried every diet. I've tried every shake. I've tried very low calorie diet. I tried even Durmine towards the end because my doctor didn't know what else to put me on or help me with. And then I just gave up. And then my sister, who used to live in Australia, but she's now living in America, she kept saying to me, come on, sis, you got to do this dirty, lazy keto. You got to do it. Look at me. I'm losing the weight. You've got to try it. And I thought, well, I've tried everything else. I'll give DLK a go. And I am so glad I did. Absolutely glad.
Well, thank you to your sister too, right? I love her recruitment strategy. She's like, come on, sister, let's do it. But you know what else I picked up on is you talked about the fibromyalgia and your pain level. I mean, I hope our listeners didn't skip over that part because maybe they were all waiting for the weight loss number. But what I heard you talk about is how your pain level has changed. So can you talk about that some more?
Yeah, well, before Dirty Lazy Keto, I would have some days, I'd call them bed days. Now, I'd go to bed nice and early, I'd sleep all right, but I was just in so much pain, I just couldn't get out of bed during the day. And once I started getting into the Dirty Lazy Keto, it only took, 2 weeks, and I saw a rapid improvement in my pain levels. And as I'm going on, the pain's just barely not there.
That's amazing.
You know, like I said, simple things like doing housework, making a bed, I can do all that again.
And not just the housework, but you're wanting to get hiking shoes on and get outside and you're feeling like more energy in addition to having less pain with the fibromyalgia. Why do you think that is? I'm curious.
I honestly don't know, but I have a theory that maybe all the excess weight and like I wasn't eating a lot of bad food because the fibromyalgia, you have to basically be on an anti-inflammatory diet. And so I got rid of most of the carbs that were naughty, as I call it, before. And I think it's got a lot to do with the weight I've been losing. It's not putting so much pressure on my nerves, maybe. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. Because it's amazing. And even my daughter, like when we get dressed up to go out, because she's got great fashion sense, I walk in a room and, you know, I'll put on something I haven't been able to worn for a couple of years or I brought and, you know, it didn't fit quite right. And I'll walk in and I'll go, does this look right? And she'll go, wow, Mum, you look awesome.
Oh, well, that's what I like to hear, right? Everyone likes to hear that kind of compliment.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. That is fantastic. Wow. So it sounds like you've lost the weight and you're thinking that could have helped with your pain level. You know, you don't have as much pressure on your joints. But on the same note, you know, it sounds like you were on an anti-inflammatory type of diet before. So what kind of changes do you think you might have made then with Dirty Lazy Keto? Like, how is this different from the past, do you think? And there's no right or wrong answer. I'm just kind of curious myself.
Yeah, I've upped my water. That's one thing. I drink nearly 2 liters of water a day. Mm-hmm. I didn't have a lot of sugar before Dirty Lazy Keto, but I've completely cut it out now. And also I had a penchant for iced coffee. So that's had to go.
All right, so you cut back on more of those refined sugars that were sneaking in, and some of those coffees, and maybe some of those little treats that were, you know, they seemed manageable before because maybe they fit into whatever program you were typing to do. But now you're kind of being a little bit more strict about getting rid of those sugars. Yeah. Wow, what a difference. I mean, for you to have your pain level decrease like that and your energy level increase like that, it's like mind blowing to me. I mean, how long have you had fibromyalgia? How long has this been a challenge for you?
I have been diagnosed for 3 years, but I was undiagnosed for 2. So technically about 5 years.
And that's a big difference for you to go from, like you said, not being able to do your housework or being outside, doing those fun activities with your loved ones.
Yeah, it is amazing. And
that is impressive.
my partner, he's always saying to me, you know, I am so proud of you. Look at what you're doing. You
it helps to have that kind of support, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
Well, you're making it all sunshine and roses. I'm going to push you a little bit.
Okay.
Because we all know all of us out there have a loving spouse or partner. You know, a lot of us have a lot of challenges going on. You know, what was your biggest challenge and how did you overcome it?
That would be actually giving up the iced coffee.
That's okay to say. I'm with you on that one. That's a tough one.
Yeah. And, you know, I had to get into the mindset of, okay, I'm cutting down the carbs. I'm eating, like, I've cut my portion sizes down. I'm going to slowly start pushing myself to get up. And I had to get into that mindset again to get going. And if I felt a little bit of pain, no, push through it, you know, another 10 minutes or whatnot, and just keep going. But it's a whole mindset thing too. And I keep saying to everybody, dirty, lazy keto to me is not a diet, because I'm actually enjoying the food I'm eating. It's more of a lifestyle change. Yeah.
What are some of those foods that you do enjoy eating? I bet everyone's curious. They're like, well, what is she having? We want to know. What are some of your favorites?
One I like, it's a low carb one, and it's called salsa fresca chicken.
Ooh, tell me more about salsa fresca chicken.
Okay. You get your chicken breast. Okay. You lightly pan it in a fry pan just so it's a little bit crispy on the outside. Then you put it in a baking dish. And then in a separate bowl, you mix some capsicum, a very small amount of onion, which I use frozen onion because it's, you know, it's good because you can see how much you're actually putting in. You put in some capsicum and some lime juice.
Ooh. Let that marinate. Capsicum, what was that for us Americans that don't know what that is? Lime juice. Okay.
Yeah. And then you let that marinate for about 10 minutes. Then you pour it over the chicken, and then you put a little bit of cheese on top and you melt it in the oven. Oh, that's good.
Sounds fantastic. You had me at cheese.
Oh, yeah, I love
melted cheese on anything, or that pan-fried chicken. I mean, it really makes a difference. The flavor is
it does.
It's gratifying. It's delicious.
Yeah.
You know, did you miss out on fat for a long time in your diet? Because I sure did. I never had mayonnaise or oil or any nuts. I always thought they were bad for me when I was younger.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I thought oils and nuts and, you know, and a little bit of fat on your meat. Yeah. I thought that was all bad, but no.
Nope. Who knew?
Yeah.
It's kind of ironic. It's kind of like the biggest secret of dirty, lazy keto.
My partner actually hates beans, like the green beans. But what I've started doing is saving the bacon fat. And I fry them up in a little bit of bacon fat for him with my butter. And now I use Nutlex, which I've been on that for about 6 years now. And it's an Australian one. And I thought, you know, it comes from almonds or something like that, because I never properly looked at it. I just liked the taste and just kept on buying it. But I actually found out it's made from sunflowers.
Oh, wow. It's made from sunflowers. Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah.
So I fry his green beans and a little bit of bacon fat, and I put a little bit of Nutlex on top, and he loves them. He can't get enough of it.
Who knew? And he's like, I didn't think I liked green beans. Do you think that's a big surprise for people that maybe weren't like big vegetable lovers in the past, that suddenly?
Because, like, you know, you don't just have to have plain food. You can play with spices and you can play with herbs and stuff like that. I'm having so much fun putting as much chili in as I want.
All right, then. Yeah, I like how you're saying that you're having fun with this. You're making this a lifestyle. It's not like a punishment.
Oh,
and you're not holding back. If you want to put some butter or some kind of, you know, sunflower type product on your green beans, bacon to make it taste better, that makes sense to you.
Yeah. No, it's been fun, actually.
Well, this is exciting. And how's your sister doing? I want to know too.
Oh, she's doing great. Yeah, she's really doing great. She's actually getting her leg shape back and she's getting her curves back. She's looking
Getting her
good
little
too.
sassy self on.
Yeah. Oh, I did that the other day. I put on the top that I brought a couple of years ago that, didn't fit right. And I put it on the other day and I looked in the mirror and I did a little, ankle kick and I was like, yay, look at me go.
Mm-hmm. Because it's funny how so many people, I'll ask, okay, you're doing your dirty, lazy keto journey, you're transforming yourself, your body's starting to look different. You're, like you said, you're having different experiences with pain or illnesses or energy level. But what do you see when you look in the mirror? That's what I'm curious about, Yasmine. Tell us.
Okay, well, that has actually improved because I used to hate looking in mirrors, really did, because all I seen was this big girl, didn't look great in clothes, basically wore black all the time, as you can see. And now I'm just like, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I put on a shirt and something said to me, hey, look in the mirror. And I've looked in the mirror, I've just had to do a double take and I'm like, is that me?
You didn't even recognize yourself. You're like, who is that, huh, mama?
Oh, that was really good. I was like, oh yeah, look at me go.
That's a process, don't you think? I mean, so many times we lose weight in the past and then we don't kind of do that mental work where we coach ourselves to see ourselves differently and to compliment ourselves and to acknowledge when other people are complimenting, like your daughter or your sister or your spouse, your husband. When people say things to you, it's hard sometimes for us to accept that compliment.
It is, because I will admit that, because once it started coming off, my partner was going, oh, you're losing weight. And I'm like, yeah, right. And he's going, no, you really are. And I'm like, yeah, no.
Mm-hmm.
And now I can actually see it for myself. I've got myself out of that negative mindset and I've put my mindset back in a positive frame. Yes. And it's just, I'm having absolute fun.
Now, is it always fun or are there some tough times once in a while?
Oh, no, there is some
It's okay to admit it. I know you talked about the coffee. But we can't just play around that everything's perfect because that it's rough sometimes, like a holiday or someone says the wrong thing or you have a rough moment. I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you, what's going on with that for you, Yasmine?
Sometimes I have a penchant for dark chocolate orange. And I know
dark chocolate orange. I have not heard that one before. Tell me more. Yeah. Okay.
There's a brand and it's English and it's called Terry's and it's a chocolate orange and it comes in a little box and you can break it off in segments and it's orange flavored chocolate.
Okay.
It is divine. That's
your weakness. That's your Achilles heel.
Yes.
So what are you doing about it? I'm curious. Are you having some? Are you finding a copycat? Like what are your thoughts on that?
I'll have a little bit every now and then, but before DLK, I would sit there and I'd have the whole thing because it's that good. I'd have the whole thing. But now I'll just have maybe a slice or two and that's it. And if I feel like, I could really do with some chocolate or some sugar or something like that, what I'm finding works for me is I get up and I do something, take my mind off it. So I'll either do some housework or brush my cat or something like that and just take my mind off it. And, 20 minutes later, that thought's gone.
I like that. And if it's not gone and it's still important to you and you want to have some, then you go ahead and you have a little bit because you're making that work for you. You've decided for yourself that Dirty Lazy Keto allows you to make this work your way because it's your life, right? No one's kind of telling you can't do this.
I know.
For me, that's where I go crazy, right? When someone has these hard and fast rules, that's not allowed, that's not allowed.
Yeah.
Does that flexibility make you feel more free?
It does. It does. Because it sort of opens your eyes up because you haven't got this set list of what you have to eat. Yes, I know it all has to be low carb, but there's no, you must eat this, this, and this on this day. And then next day we'll try this, this, and this. There's none of that. You can play with it all. You can have whatever you want. as long as it's low carb and that. And like I said, play with your herbs and spices. You know, I'm having so much fun.
I can tell. Well, your attitude is so infectious, and your positivity and your commitment. I can see that this is not something that's a temporary fix for you. You know, you mentioned you had a surgery, so clearly you've had health issues. And this is something that you're embracing as a long-term way of life. Is that fair to say?
Yes. Yes, it is. Yeah. Because honestly, like, I don't know how it is over your way, but meat prices and vegetable prices has gone through the roof. So usually what I'll have is one night I'll have chicken. Another favorite of mine is, well, two favorites of mine is my meatballs and my diced chicken. And then some days I'll mix it up a bit and I'll just do some vegetables and I'll throw through some salami or something like that, top it with cheese and bake it in the oven. Dinner done.
I like that. I'm coming to your house for dinner next time and over yonder. That's on my bucket list to do. You know, it's interesting. I didn't travel much when I was a heavier person because it was so uncomfortable for me to fit in a airplane seat. And so I only traveled for work and stuff when I was a heavier person. Do you feel like now that your life is changing and your energy level has changed, do you have anything on your bucket list?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, I want to hear.
There's two things I absolutely want to do, and that's one, go visit my sister in Ohio because I haven't seen her for nearly 8 years. I haven't seen her in nearly 8 years, so I'd love to go and visit her again. And I'd love to go. Now, this one's always been on top of my list.
Okay.
I've always wanted to tour south of, like, Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama. I want to do the whole lot. Go down Bourbon Street, you know, all that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. I know that area well. I actually got married on downtown Bourbon Street area in Louisiana.
Nice.
Random fact. But yes, I love that part of town. I love the food. I love the music. I love the people.
Yes.
I can totally see you there, Yasmine. We got to make that happen.
Yeah, that would be great.
Combine that with the trip to Ohio, of course.
Yes.
We got to see the sister.
Yeah, got to see my sister. I haven't seen her in 8 years.
But we could do like a little circle.
Yeah,
kind of like a U.S. circle. Well, that's a wonderful
that's
goal.
right.
I love that. Well, tell me, is there any other question I forgot to ask you? Because we've covered quite a bit. Do you have any advice for new people, or is there something you wanted to share that I didn't ask you?
Well, first of all, I just want to thank you for creating Dirty Lazy Keto, because you have changed my life like you would not believe. I'm nearly in tears here. You have made such, changes to my life, and it's great to get it back. And for anybody that's, umming and ahhing about it, just go for it. Keep up your water, cut down your portions and watch your carbs, and you will see it just starting to drop off. It is fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't say anything after that. You're going to make me cry, and I just put on my makeup.
Sorry.
No tears today, but I'm so thankful that we connected. I'm so, two strangers who's going through the same problem, same exact challenges. Yes. And I know that by you sharing your story and talking a little bit about your journey, I'm confident there's someone listening out there who is having their life changed right now. And I think we have to stop being afraid of talking about, obesity and food issues, and not feel so embarrassed that we like chocolate or we like coffee, or, in my case, it was popcorn. I was obsessed with popcorn of all things. But, we all have stuff. Why are we being afraid to talk about it? Why can't we stop defining our success on a number on the scale and start measuring it in terms of hugs and feeling energetic and feeling ready to go? It's life-changing.
Yeah, it really is, because, everyone who's a little bit bigger and a little bit obese, they feel bad.
Yes,
we need to get
it's the same. And then we stop trying because we feel like it's just wasted effort, wasted time. It's not going to work. We've been told our whole lives not to eat this, not to eat that. And then who would have thought? Turns out we can eat these things. And there is a way that we can figure this out. And I'm so glad that we're here to support one another. And I'm so thankful that you came on, always in Australia.
Oh, It was so awesome to talk to you.
It's my first time ever talking to anyone in Australia. And there's a huge keto, it's a growing way of eating in your neck of the woods.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
So it's catching on. I mean, Dirty Lazy Keto is something you can do no matter where you live. You don't need a bunch of specialty products, right?
That's right.
No matter where you live, you can do this and change your life one little meal, one snack at a time. So thank you so much for being here. And I'm going to give you a big round of applause.
Thank you.
And all the folks out there listening, if they have questions, feel free to put them in the comments, because Yasmine could even go on YouTube and she'll be able to answer. So make sure you ask her questions and make comments and give her lots of support and cheer. And if somebody out there wants to share their story next, get in touch, because we have to help one another, right? We can do this.
Yes, that's right.
All right, my friends. I'll see you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.